Right, I'm going to take my shoes off. No reason.
Nothing suspicious there.
Okay, my presentation is called Fumbling Forward, and it's all about It's all about embracing mistakes, because through my experience, I've found that one of the biggest problems that teams can have in software development is the fear of judgment, of making a mistake, and the results of that. So we're going to start with some challenge time, right? So we got. I hope you guys can figure this out. All right. Moving on. It gets a bit harder, guys. So prepare yourself, obviously. Moving on. Don't worry, it doesn't keep going on, because I bet you made a mistake there, didn't you? Or did I make a mistake? Who made the mistake? Well, I say you, because synergy. My economics teacher liked to say 2 + 2 = 5, because synergy, and it's stuck in my head for ages. Because basically, the whole premise of teamwork and effective teams is that you take what is one person and another person, by putting them together, the product of them working together is greater than if they were to work individually. It's the whole reason we work in teams. How can these teams work better? How can we I went and looked at, it was a little, that's meant to be a drawing of someone who's got a growth mindset. And this growth, I did a lot of research on this, thanks to a certain someone in the ground. I went and looked up around it, and I found that Carol Dweck, a Harvard American psychologist, went and coined this, that a growth mindset is someone who believes that no matter what, if they keep trying, they will eventually get better. And obviously a fixed mindset believes that I'm only able to do what I'm able to do. The relevance of this comes later with my chaotic slides, obviously. So who thinks they are unique? I'd like to think that you all think you're unique. You don't have to put your hands up. I know you've had a lot of handsy-uppy stuff going on today. But yeah, so that exactly, yes. Right, well, if everyone is unique, then imagine trying to put together a team of people with original ideas and solutions. How on earth can we progress if everyone's meant to have their bit of time to say what they think on how something should be done? Well, what ends up happening is, back to Gail's slide on Agile, is this sort of stuff starts happening. I started experiencing this in my module that we did earlier this year called Hacking for MOD, which was a replica startup situation where we had to go and we were given a problem statement. We went and discovered more about the problem statement. We validated it. I think the next one shows it better. Yeah, we used the lean startup methodology to solve the problem statement, to go and find the hypotheses that we could figure out what people actually like, what this problem actually was, and figure it out better so that we could figure out what the solution could be possibly for that. And if it even needs a solution, is there somewhere else it might need a solution? This took the majority of the time. From that, we quite quickly discovered that we could make an online natural capital calculator for our hacking for MOD situation, which was looking at trying to assess the biodiversity levels for all Navy sites. From that, we went and used, again, thank you, Kevin. Look, it's there. There's a Kevin Henny Agile Software Development. We went and used the Agile methodology to try and get this made. And as a result, we ended up with a Figma prototype. A Figma prototype. I was very upset about that. Why was I upset? Well, I've discovered that a lot of the team was scared of this. A lot of semantics with what Joe was talking about. They're scared to make mistakes. They're scared to make things wrong because they're scared of judgment, of people coming at them and be like, why did you do that? I wish you did something else. Well, how can we get rid of this? Well, there's something called psychological safety. And Amy Edmondson, I can't remember what university she is, but she's another American psychologist. And she went and realised that without having a community that is able to go and make risks and able to share their opinions, then they won't. And what you get as a result of that? Oh, here's where it gets good. Right. So our hacking from what this is my drawing of hacking the team. Very visual. Obviously, I'm very talented in the old illustration. So because they were scared to make mistakes, they were scared to take initiatives because they didn't want to make a mistake. Thus, they didn't make decisions. Thus, they did nothing. As a result of nothing happening, we had, when we came to this idea, which was quite early on, we thought, yeah, we've got this. We're going to smash this. We've got this really early on. We should be able to develop it, iterate it, check with the Navy if it's actually something they want, figure it out. But because of that, it led to this being all over the place, trying to help the team, the people who didn't know what was going on, but they were still trying to be involved, and they have completely lost. As a result, obviously, we only had a Figma prototype when we got this idea in week 3 of the 10-week program. So I've got some quotes. Every good slide has quotes, I think, probably. I don't know. Well, this is Thomas Edison. Obviously, I liked this quote. It's one of my favourite quotes, to be honest. I just felt like, I could chuck this in. Because it's just, this man I think he's got 1,000 patents. I don't know how you say the word, but he's done a lot for humanity. And he recognises that mistakes need to be made in order for progress to happen. Innovation is directly related to making mistakes and fumbling forward, right? Another one, Socrates said the only true wisdom is knowing you know nothing, right? So know that, keep going forward, try and bet yourself, growth mindset. Oh, who's this? Oh, it's me. I thought I'd chuck this in. I don't really know. I've jumped in the deep end most of my life. The reason why this presentation is called Fumbling Forward is because I've fumbled forward to get here where I am right now. I make mistakes all over the place in my life, but it's the keep going that I know that it's a learning experience, and I don't get myself down over it. I don't know how I have that ability, but it's beyond me. But recently I made some mistakes. I went wild camping. Obviously, I made no preparations. Obviously, all my friends made loads of preparations. I didn't check the map. I didn't know what to take. I packed last minute. I didn't take enough food. We got lost. I had to drink this river water because I didn't have any water. We were hiking up steepest things. It was ridiculous. I thought it was going to be a holiday. Right? And this, because I didn't have enough food, right, we're in the middle of Dartmoor. Where do you think there's shops in Dartmoor that are open, that just sell food? No, there aren't. I can't believe it. There's pubs, though, but they don't serve food until 2 p.m. So I had to eat pork scratchings to survive. To be fair, I wasn't too, I kind of like a pork scratching. But the key point and takeaway from the reason I'm bringing up these mistakes is, did I die? Was I at risk of death? I'd argue, no, I avoided it. I'm here now, right? I've done a lot of jobs. My friends know me as someone who likes to say the word job a lot because I've done so many jobs. Here's me cooking pizzas at pizza festivals. I did this all last summer. I've had to get jobs to survive for financial reasons. As a result, I've had a lot, and I'm only 23, right? But some of them have got semantics where they've gone in, but a lot of them are very completely different. The whole reason is because I went into these jobs and I knew that I don't have what the skills require, but I have the ability to learn the skills eventually, taught properly, and understood the process properly. Bear Grylls, always remember. So we started embracing mistakes more in our Agile teams. Hopefully, it would lead to some better outcomes. So I thought, how can we? I know it's a tech conference. What can I do? So I made a program. I made some HTML, And then I went and made a little JavaScript function to calculate potential for death, right? And from that, this is all just stuff to push it to the HTML, lovely JavaScripts. And here is a JSON object of some scenarios. And then these scenarios will go through this function here, and it will calculate the death potential. Oh, so here we are with these parameters up here. So extreme adventure, where you've probably got no help, no food and water, loads of danger, apparently. Danger, stay away, don't do that, right? But potential death scenario for hiking without preparation, all safe, I survived, look at me here, I'm alive and well. Controversial. Hiking with preparation, therefore, must be all safe, right? So, agile development, safe, right? What risk of death is there in developing software? So, why are we scared to make mistakes? Not to be confused with the framework, remember those funny images, right? Safety, right. So, if we don't have any psychological safety in our workplace and in our agile teams, it will lead to a lack of fear of making mistakes. What do you get as a result of fear of making mistakes? Well, you get a fixed mindset. People they'll think, oh, I can't do it because I'm unable, you know. As a result of having a fixed mindset, no challenges will be taken by the team. As a result of no challenges being taken, there's going to be no mistakes made. So where's the learning process? So you get no learning. And as a result of no learning, no one feels like, wow, I'm learning something here, and they want to collaborate with the team. Everyone's just like, oh, I'm useless. I can't do anything. Oh, I wish I could. And then you end up working individually, doing the same thing, which is what happened in my situation, which is a nightmare. We all made the same prototype, all individually. So you get a dysfunctional team, no synergy. Back to where I was talking about the 2 + 2 = 5. We want to try and achieve some synergy in these agile teams. So they end up having a poor solution and product. Now, this brings me on to a brilliant example of some agile software development that I think we can all take some benefit from. We stole the moon! I mean, we stole the moon! The moon? How on earth did we steal the moon? We made a freeze ray! Fart gun? Banana! We even helped defeat Groot's enemy. These guys were evil. We didn't know. Oh, they were a task. How do we do it? Well, my slide would have been nice to make mistakes. So I shot myself in the foot here with this presentation here. So minions, they have a psychological safe environment. As a result of having a psychological safe environment, they have no fear of making mistakes, right? Which means they tend to lean towards having more growth mindset, which means they face more challenges, which means they make more mistakes, which means they do more learning, which means they want to communicate more, which means you have a synergized team. So that means, what is not achievable? You can steal the moon. So, minions, why are they so incredible, and why have I done this for this? Well, they feel valued, really valued, each individual. A lot like bringing back to the semantics Joe was talking about, to have a workplace where you feel valued no matter who you are, how many mistakes you make, how many fumbles you do. They have open team and communication and collaboration. They talk to each other all the time. They're always being friendly, always being happy. Well, they're not always being happy, actually. They're expressing all their emotions all the time, which is what you should be. You should be transparent in your emotion. If you feel sad about someone who's done something to you in the workplace, you should tell them, and then if you hide that, then it's never going to get worked on. Whereas these guys, they instantly, if they're upset about something, they're like, straight out. So they address the problems in the team, and they have their friends in the massive organisation of Gru's empire. They also have access to non-judgmental technical help from an expert. So they're allowed to make mistakes. They're allowed to learn because they've got someone who can guide them. They celebrate small wins, remember? Banana. These are all, if anyone wants a banana, I mean, there are a lot. They also have a very dedicated and direct, key word here, empathetic leader. By being an empathetic leader, you can understand that, look, you've made a mistake, but what can we do about it? What can we learn from it? How can we push forward? Relating this to software, God, it's getting warm now. By having this and all of this, you lead to the validation stage of the lean startup methodology, having way more discoveries made because you're making way more mistakes, which means you're learning way more and you're fumbling around and you're figuring it out. And that's the whole point of that stage, is to figure it out before you do the thing. Because you want to figure it out properly before you go and make the thing. And then you made the thing and then you realise, wait, why have we made the thing? No one actually wants the thing. Why have we done it? So it means that you end up having better ideas that are properly validated. As a result of that, your team's more likely to be synergized, so then you're more likely to deploy working software at a faster rate. Better final products. Now, here's something I like. Oh, blimmin' me and my animations. Right, the Agile Facade, I liked this one. I found an article by Dave Farley on his blog, and he talked about how there are a lot of self-described agile companies. Now, and then he also goes on to say that one of the strongest predictors of a success for a team is the ability to make decisions and progress without needing to coordinate or ask permission from outside the team, right? What is that? So if we end up trying to do this in the innovation space of software engineering, because you've got a manager of a team and they're trying to make some software and they're coming out with ideas. No, you need to stick to this. You need to get that done. We need that done. But we're like, oh, but we got this idea. No, stay here. So micromanagement, which leads to slower software development of reliable code that is like, because they've got to make sure it's reliable, so it takes ages, or they can make loads of mistakes and end up with a lot of responsibilities for a small team. That is what it takes to achieve autonomy in teams, right? So to achieve that autonomy, we have to... He's an engineer. So I'm self-aware of my mistakes. These slides are a bit of a mistake. Irony. Basically, what I'm trying to get across here is that minions are allowed to take decisions. They go and do as they please. They are happy beings. As a result, they're able to produce unimaginable things, such as stealing the moon and making a freeze ray. And when we look at the manifesto for agile software development, it's almost like we can sort of forget sometimes that this is a massive part of it, responding to change over following a plan, right? Really send the message home, right? So, is Agile working for you? If it's not working for you, and you think Agile is rubbish, and I've spoken to some friends I have, and they say, oh, Agile is all great and well in its thing, but when it comes down to it in my small business, you have a problem, the customer comes to me, we give them a solution, we make it, they validate it, then that's what we decide upon. So why? But if you did use it, you end up having faster deployment, better ideas. You make sure that your ideas are well and proper before you develop them. So we need to encourage more psychological safety and growth mindset over a fixed mindset. So we need to take the message away from the minions. So an optimal agile sort of team structure should be acting like the minions and Gru and Dr. Nefario. And what you want to avoid is the micromanagement of trying to control an innovative process. Right, here's a QR code. It goes to a website. It's got some posters on there that I've spent ages doing. I managed to get some permissions from the co-owner of the Clangers, the son of the Clangers creator, and he's allowed me, I've been talking to him back and forth, and I managed to make a poster that sort of encapsulates the whole idea of the growth mindset and the psychological safety aspect in posters that you can print off, chuck in your workplace if you want, have a check. I've also got some handouts. I'm going to put them by the door at the end. You can take one if you want, go check it out if you're up to you. Thank you for your time.